I see that. You're finally wearing the glitter jacket.
Yeah, I did. I
never wore it on the show before.
Since it's our first show tonight.
This is our first show on Village Connection Network. I'm really excited.
Way to go. Give me 5 on that. Let's do this.
Yeah.
Good evening. How are you guys?
Heather Lee, how are you, sweetheart? We're shipping
I'm doing
shirts
great.
away.
I had to call in because I just wanted you guys to pay extra shipping to get my shirt.
Thank you, Heather.
Actually, I'm going to give them to your father, and he's going to ship them to you.
Oh, in that case, I'll never get it.
Brought up a really good point, Darren.
Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man. Sounds like somebody's in heat. That's good.
How are you, Music Man this week?
I'm
Really interesting question.
what kind of toy did she like? Don't be kidding.
Come on, he always goes there. Were you drinking before the show? One of the cardinal rules. Two things you never do to a woman. You never say they're old, and
But
you
I'm
never
not
say
married.
they're happy.
I'm never going to see
You
her
never ask
again.
me
What's
how
the
much time
difference?
you trust me.
Wait a second. We both know I won't be seeing you again.
You know Lauren for a long time.
Yes, I do. By the way, this is a Yankee station.
It's a Yankee station. John, it's a Yankee station.
All right?
Fourth extravaganza.
Hell no.
Hi, Eileen. Eileen's on.
Hi, Eileen. Eileen Karina is on.
Yeah,
Hi, Eileen.
She
Great question. We have a lot of undulations out in the field. Undulations.
Is that a wine? What the hell is undulation?
Fred, don't use big words. John's not calling his chicken.
Did you just call me a chicken?
I called you a chicken. I did call you a chicken.
You called me a chicken.
I called you a chicken. Hey, right? So this.
Help.
I gotta give him a cough button, Jim. What do you think?
A cough
Because-
button would be a good idea. Consider that a good question that he asked?
Great question.
There you go. I got
Pythons
one.
and brains.
But our own John from Hazlitt provided the confetti for the ticker tape parade. Hey, sorry. This, yeah, I was just gonna say, this show's about him. It's not about you.
Hey, give me some loving.
How are you, Music Man?
Hello, Darren. How are you?
I'm fantastic.
I'm
this
absolutely convinced. I'm absolutely convinced that
telling
you
you.
got some kind of brain damage when you had that thing last year.
I'm telling you, and he called. And
Seeing interviews by Darren and the Music Man. Ladies and gentlemen, Darren Siafi and Norman Wasserman.
let's do this.
Yeah.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man.
You did it again.
Well, you said
started too
you
early.
just told me.
I
that
said,
it-
get ready to go. You waited
All
for
right, let's
his
go.
finger.
Look what time it is already. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Darren Dimples and the Music Man. Better known, Darren now is known as Double D.
Double
Darren
D.
Dimples.
Double D?
That's it.
Okay.
That is your name.
Is that
And
it?
Double
I'm known
D.
as Double D.
Double D.
Double D.
How was your week?
My week was pretty good. My week was excellent, actually. I'm laughing over this, starting the show on time, because we had a whole discussion about Jim cueing him in, and he completely ignored Jim's cue. He took.
He didn't give me a cue.
bumping him. Yeah, he did.
Look at him.
If you
Look at him just
watch
shaking
it.
his head over there. Really?
But welcome, everybody. I actually had a great week because, if you remember, when Les Wolf was on,
Yeah.
right, and John from Hazlitt called in
Yes.
and said he wanted to buy an Alfonso
souvenir,
ball, right?
right.
Yeah, because he's the rookie doing all kinds of great things.
Mm-hmm.
Well, John never paid him, but the ball came to me because Les was gonna,
Nice.
you know,
Right.
and the kid just set the New York Mets rookie record for home runs in a season, which I want to congratulate him
42,
on,
43?
because
What's
now
it up?
the value of the item I have in my possession
It's worth that much more.
has just gone up tremendously.
That's great.
So, John, if you
Your
want to call
cousin
in and thank me for
John
that.
will never see this ball. There's no. I mean, even though you're a Yankee fan,
It's a Mets
folks,
ball,
it ain't
but-
going. It ain't going there. Money comes before the Mets. You know. So
I had
that's
a good
it.
week, though. How was your week?
Good. Really, really good. Some very exciting things happening. And not as much as our guest tonight, who has
No,
some
they got a lot
really
of things
exciting
going on.
things that are going on in her life, and she has dimples too.
She's got dimples.
She has nice big dimples, nice blonde-haired young lady from the American Cancer Society of Hauppauge, and we welcome Kate
Yes.
Govrich.
Goffridge, yeah.
Goffridge, hey, we welcome.
Hi, Katie. Welcome to the
And
show.
Katie is
Thank you
the
for having
senior
me.
manager of community development for the organization, and she's about ready to be a mommy too.
Yes,
How
congratulations.
exciting!
Yeah, it's
Can you imagine if you had the baby on our show?
No.
How
Knock on wood,
cool
that
would
does
that
not
be?
happen.
Well, you don't know when you're going to get pregnant.
Oh, yeah,
Things
time.
happen.
I was going to say, don't worry, Kate. You're not going to have it
Well,
on
you
this
said you're
show.
doing 2 weeks anyway, right? No, oh, it's 2 months. Got it. Oh, how silly of me.
Yeah, you know,
How
I don't
silly.
know. Again,
I don't know.
we go from
I
there.
get it.
But Katie, welcome to the show.
Good evening.
You know, we know the American Cancer Society does a lot of great work. Okay, but if anybody wants to call in, ask any questions of me, Norm, Katie, 631-415-3.
915. What'd you do?
Wow, I
love
blanked
it.
out.
Look at that.
So and I
love doing
apologize
that.
for that. But that was good. That was
You
teamwork.
want me
though.
to- you want me to say
teamwork.
the-
You
you
picked
want
up-
me to
Give me
say the
some.
right
Give
number?
me
Give me
some.
some. We did that. Yeah, there you go.
It's 415-1365.
13. That's what you know. What I was looking 31. I'm sitting there going. That's why I was getting 1365. Right. That's why I blacked out.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. So I want to say, Brian. Good evening. I see Brian's on already.
Brian Cohn?
Brian Cohen.
It's been a while, Brian. You haven't been on for a while.
So, Katie, tell us a little bit about the American Cancer Society and some of the great work, some of the great things that you guys are
First of all,
doing.
how long have you been there?
I've been here for about 9.5 years.
Whoa.
So I've been with the organization for a long, long time as staff, but for a tremendous amount of time as a volunteer before then. And basically, the American Cancer Society is a global organization. I'm sure that everyone who is watching right now has heard of the American Cancer Society in some capacity or seen our logo. But we're an organization that is truly trying to fight and defeat cancer in every way that it impedes us. So whether it is on the community level and making sure that you are getting your rise treatment or making that cancer diagnosis easier, to fighting it on the cellular level of finding that next cure and that next thing that will say we're eliminating cancer, and that I hope will happen
Let me
in
ask you
at
a
least
question.
my child's lifetime.
There are so many different types of cancers that one can get. Are we close to any kind of cure for any of the different types of cancer?
That's a fantastic question, Norman.
Wow. See, I got fantastic.
This
You
is
just
the-
got good. I got fantastic.
I usually get good
Wow.
questions. I usually get it. He got a fantastic. You just blew his
Yeah,
doors
so
off.
honestly,
There you go.
if
Phone call.
wow.
We got
So
Good evening and welcome to the Business Powwow with Double D and the Music Man. Who's calling, please?
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Hi,
Hi,
I've
you've
got
reached the
a
Business
question for
Powwow
Katie.
Hour.
Thanks. I'd like to ask a question to Katie.
hi.
Hi, this is Keith from Hicksville.
He's from Hicksville.
Hi, Keith.
I just wanted to know, how, locally, friends and family members of mine can get more involved in the American Cancer Society walk that's coming up in October. I'll hang up and listen to your answer.
Great question. So basically, anybody can get involved in the American Cancer Society. So you can get involved at one of our events that we're going to talk about a little bit later. But we have large-scale events like our Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk, Relay for Life, where people can hand out water, help us with registration, so many
Well,
things.
you know what we have to do? This was Keith from Hicksville,
This
right?
was Keith from Hicksville.
Keith's going to have to listen
you know what?
in to the
I've-
rest of the show to get all that information.
Get all the information. And you know what? I've heard Keith on another radio station.
Yes,
Call
you
in.
might have.
Right? Because I listen to that radio station.
Does
and we
Keith
have another
follow you?
listener who calls into that radio station all the time and also calls into our show who is watching. And no, you're not getting your ball, John. You're not getting it.
No matter how much money you have. Thank you very much for calling.
Thanks, Keith.
Met fan.
Fan, yeah. Anyway, getting back to it. So how did you get involved? What made you... Now, you said you got involved as a volunteer,
Yeah.
and so we can talk a little bit about that, but how did you get to the point where you wanted to join the organization?
So when I was in high school, my grandmother actually got diagnosed with cancer. It was a
wow.
traumatic day for everyone, and I you don't know how to handle those kind of things. And she was given a very short prognosis of life and living, and she actually thrived for about 4 to 5 years
God
later.
bless. Great.
And I lost her, and she was probably one of the closest people in my life. To this day, I think of her every single moment, and she made me be a better person, because she was always like there in my back corner saying, this is what you're going to do with your life, you're going to do this. So I decided to do Relay for Life in my local town and get involved for her. And then when I went to college, they had a Colleges Against Cancer chapter, and
Where'd you go to, Penn State?
I went to Canisius College in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Go
Did you ever see the
Bills.
kids?
Penn State. Why Penn
Because
State?
the kids are always on Long Island and at certain intersections, and they have cans, and they collect money for cancer
Penn
care.
State?
No, in Long Island.
Yeah,
From
but
Penn
you
State.
said
They're from Penn State. They live
So
in Long Island, and this is what they do.
We have a lot of College Against Cancer chapters in almost every single school and
Right.
university. So if anybody's interested in, creating a chapter, it's not just running a Relay for Life event, but it's helping with advocacy with our sister organization, so
it's
many
basically,
things.
if I said I wanted to get a group together, I wanted to make the Business Power Hour group, we can create this group and do these different events on our own with
Yeah.
your assistance,
Yeah.
and donate all the money.
Yeah,
to
you
guys.
can be like, and that's what the American Cancer Society is. It's an army. So, we started in the early 1900s where these women would knock on the door saying, cancer is something that we should be talking about, because nobody talked about cancer. It was hush hush. And even in the 50s and 60s, it was, not talked about. But these women in like the 1920s were going door to door and just saying, we need to talk about this. Here's a pamphlet. You shouldn't be ashamed of yourself. This is something that's more common than you think. And the word was started
that's
coming out. And
with a
that's
lot
how we
of-
do that.
And that's with like a lot of diseases where people think it's only me, and I don't want anybody to know what's going on with me, and they get into this cocoon of leave me alone. And what you're telling me is that these people said, no, we're going to go out, we're going to help these
Yes.
people, we're going to let them know that they're not alone. So that's one of the things that we find out with a lot of the organizations, and we didn't even know, it's Give Back Wednesday, my favorite day of the month, is that we find that a big part of what they do is to let everybody know they're not alone.
Yeah.
They
Why don't you explain what Give Back Wednesday is to everybody, if they don't know?
For those of you who don't know, Give Back Wednesday is the one night a month that we give
Last
back
Wednesday.
to charities. The last Wednesday of the month, we invite charities on, and we give them the opportunity to get their word out. And that's what we're doing here. And we want everybody to, support the American Cancer Society, just like we do with all the other organizations that we work with. And this, cancer touches everybody.
Yeah.
I don't care what anybody says. Cancer touches
Someone
everybody.
in everyone's family, God forbid,
I've had a lot of people in my family
has had cancer.
who have had cancer.
One form or another.
My grandmother passed away in 1960 from breast cancer.
Yeah.
So
And it's, it's devastating to hear, every day you hear somebody say, oh, this person in my life has been diagnosed with cancer. But I love that within my last 10 years or so of being involved in the American Cancer Society, I'm hearing a lot of I'm catching it early, which is fantastic, because that means that people are talking about
Right.
it, making sure that they're going to
They're
their
going for
doctors,
checkups.
getting
Right.
checkups, knowing their bodies, and really being their own advocate. And that's so important, because if we're not talking about it, and so I hope this springs that little spark to somebody who's on this listening or viewing today, just saying oh, I'm due for my mammogram, or I haven't gotten my skin
Right.
check, or it's right at the end of the summer. We've all been in the sun, I'm sure, enjoying the beaches and everything like that. But
I've had 3 bouts of skin cancer.
my father was a melanoma survivor, and those are the things that you don't expect them. You don't expect cancer in your life, and then when it hits you, it hits you hard.
I found my wife's cancer by accident. And she wound up, I don't remember the name of it, but the tumor she had was the size of a football. The
Wow.
doctor was like, we found it by accident. Just by accident.
well, and that's the thing, right? Cancer doesn't discriminate.
Yeah.
Like he just said, sometimes you walk around, you don't even realize you got it.
Exactly.
And that's the hard thing. So getting back to how you exactly, before he came up with his fantastic questions,
Yes.
right? Getting back to what made you join this organization, not from the volunteer. Now we started with your grandma and everything, right?
What did you do before?
Right. So how did you progress into getting this position?
So when I was in college, they asked me if I wanted to do a part-time job with the American Cancer Society, being a recruiter for the American Cancer Society and a fundraising coach for their Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk in Buffalo. And I was like, I'll do it. And I was going to school to be a doctor. That was what I was going to be. Yes, chemistry was my thing. I was in the lab. That's what I wanted. And all of a sudden, I sat in this office every day, making phone calls, listening to survivors and caregivers, and I just felt like I was making a difference in this small way by coming in and doing this, you should come and join us, or, how can I help you? And I was able to direct people to, the resources of the American Cancer Society at the time, and really, just like loved what I was doing, and see this finished product at the end of the season, where you're seeing it, like in Buffalo, you have like 10,000, 15,000 people that are there, and now you have and you're like, oh, I was part of bringing all these people together to unite because of one thing, and it's making this huge impact. So I instantly was like, I need to
do this. So you changed your major.
Yeah, I took on marketing.
Okay.
Finished up. And I took a little hiatus, went and did some marketing for another company, and then came here, and I moved to Long Island. So and now
Are you originally from Long Island?
No, I'm from the Hudson Valley.
You are. What part of Hudson Valley?
I went to Carmel High School.
Okay.
But I was
Carmel, New York.
Carmel, New York. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. It's pretty smart. I lived in Wappingers Falls for a little.
Oh yeah, so I grew up on Stormville Mountain, and
so I know exactly where you're talking about.
Carmel schools, no man's land in between. And it's something that I still every single day feel so passionate about. And everybody has a hard day at work, whatever it may be, but every hard day, there's always a good thing that happens in what I do. And it's such a rewarding job, and it's such a rewarding,
I don't know if people really know, though, what it is that you do. See, I know what you do because I'm involved in your world with charities and concerts and so on and so forth. But your title as being Senior Manager of Community Development, you raise money for cancer. I mean, you got a huge job and responsibility. Do you have a quota where you have to meet certain numbers every year?
Yeah, we want to make sure that we are hitting our goals, just like in any other business. We set ourselves goals, and we strive our hardest to get to those goals financially, but also in other ways as well, to make sure that we're making an impact and spreading the word. And our Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk is in my portfolio, and that brings in about $3 million every year, which is unbelievable. And that's just one part of the many things that we do here on Long Island.
If you hired Friend Entertainment, you can bring $3 million at once.
$3 million at once. Yeah, that's about it. It'll be $3 million at once. I'm teasing.
No, but that's a great point. It doesn't matter when you hear about these giant numbers like 3 million. It's not, getting these giant corporation checks that are getting us to that. It's about, those $5, $10, $20 donations that add up so much.
You do want to do a show.
So Katie, if somebody wanted to get a hold of you, right, how would they do it?
So if you want to get a hold of me personally, you can reach out to me at our local HOPOG office. But if you want to reach out to the American Cancer Society, and they can forward you to the appropriate person, it's 2345.
Slow down when you say
Oh, I'm sorry. You didn't catch that. 1-800-227-2345. And that is our hotline. You get a person immediately. They answer the phone, and they direct you to where you need to be. So whether that is getting connected with your local office to have a volunteer opportunity, be connected as a sponsor, get signed up for a walk, whatever it may be, that you can go through that way. Or if you have a question about your cancer diagnosis, a family member's diagnosis.
That was my next question, right? And Brian brought up a great point. And thank you, Brian, for that.
Brian did?
Yeah, Brian did. No. Brian runs a support group. He's involved in Crohn's and colitis, and he runs a support group. And he says that's one of the things about the support group is getting out there to let people know they're not alone. Not only that, is when these people get their diagnosis, and it's all this technical mumbo jumbo.
Yeah.
Who can they turn to understand what's really going on?
You have a hotline?
Yeah, so
and that's what she was talking about. Yeah.
So I encourage everyone that you should write down this number, and we'll post it after the show or during.
Yep.
But it's 1-800-227-2345. That is 1-800-227-2345. And that number is so essential. I have used that phone number for personal reasons. My mother-in-law has unfortunately passed away from cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear that.
Thank you. It was very hard on our entire family. But the first thing we did was, when we found out, was I called the American Cancer Society. Right. So I'm here as an employee who, but I reached out because we wanted to know, what are the next questions that we need? Are there clinical trials that we can get connected to? What are the things what do we do next?
Right.
How do we navigate this? Yeah. Because me, who's in this world of cancer, I'm not a doctor. I don't know what's going on, and my family doesn't know what's going on either. So just being able to say, okay, this is what you were diagnosed with. This is really what it means in a little bit more layman's terms. You can print out all these information. These are some of the questions that you may not have thought to ask your doctor, that you should ask your doctor.
Right.
Should you get that second opinion?
Who that forte that rolls right into is our friend Eileen Karina that we was talking to you about before the show. She has a charity that does patient advocacy.
That's amazing.
So
Mike
it's
D'Amicis?
Yes, I know. Mike D'Amicis is a road to recovery driver for us.
Mike is a wonderful guy. I belong to a couple of networking groups where Mike is involved. And forget his regular business where he's a superstar in what he does. He's a mega superstar for anyone who has cancer. The things that he and his organization does is just crazy.
So
he's so giving, and to pick up, he offered to take my wife to New Jersey because she had to go for some special treatments beforehand. Every single day, she had to go for 25 days. I mean, and it's free. There's no charge for anything, and housing if you need a place to stay or whatever. And that's one of the things that you should, if God forbid there's something in your family, American Cancer Society offers so many benefits to you. I mean, you're suffering enough, but you want to make things as sweet and as easy as you can. You should really give them a call.
And when we come back, we're going to get into more about some of the programs that they're offering, as well as Katie and I know each other.
Yeah, we do.
And we're going to talk about how we know each other and our history.
Really?
So we'll be right back right after these messages.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Hi, this is Darren from the Business Power Hour. Are you associated with a charity or a nonprofit organization that is looking to raise money, but you want to do something different from other charities or something you've never done before? Well, if that's the case, then you need to call our friends at Friend Entertainment USA. Friend Entertainment provides tribute concert events featuring the best tribute talent from all over the USA, saluting stars such as Donna Summer, the Bee Gees, Queen, and many more. Whether you like Motown, rock and roll, R&B, country, Christian, or whatever type of music you like, they will provide you with the best entertainment at a price that is very affordable. In addition to music, they are now offering comedy shows saluting such stars as Robin Williams and Joan Rivers. With over 31 years of experience, Friend Entertainment will teach you how to create a successful show. The first thing you need to do is sit down with them and learn how you and your organization can put together a show that can be done from anywhere in the USA. These events will help you bring needed funds and branding to your organization, so you can continue to provide the needed services to your community. No organization is too big or too small. So reach out today. You can call or email Norman at Friend Entertainment USA and let him help your charity or nonprofit create an unforgettable fundraising experience. Call 844-698-9696. That's 844-698-9696. Or visit their website at friendentusa.com and ask for the Music Man. Tell him Darren sent you. Small business owners, are you having trouble growing your business? Do you feel like you're always swimming upstream? Do you feel like daily tension that I can't get ahead and I don't know why?
Hi everybody, my name is Darren Sayafi, and I'm a business therapist. What's a business therapist? Well, some people call us coaches, some people call us advisors, other people even call us strategists. We take a vested interest in you and your personal development as a person and as a business owner to give you the tools and structure that you need to take it to that next level. So don't wait. Give me a call today for your free consultation and let me show you how you can help yourself.
Hi, this is Doug Cormack, Executive Director of Orchard Estate of Woodbury, Woodbury's first assisted living and memory care community. We're opening this summer for seniors who need a little or a lot of assistance with things like taking their medication, meals, or just a maintenance-free lifestyle. Our experienced staff keeps seniors and their families connected to what matters most. Call us today to inquire about our model apartments and discover how Orchard Estate of Woodbury is providing the lifestyle Long Island seniors deserve. Call 516-246-2167. That's 516-246-2167. Or visit orchardestatewoodbury.com. Licensure pending.
Welcome back to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man. See, that's how you do it.
Is that it?
So,
Thanks for teaching me.
I want to thank everybody for being here. We're here with Katie from the American Cancer Society tonight. I just want to ask you, what did you think of that bowl? It was a nice bowl, right?
A nice what?
The Alfonso bowl I showed you.
Oh yeah, that was terrific.
It was right, Jim. We had right. We had fun tossing that one around, right?
I do want to. I do also want to address Jeff, who wrote into us and said that the Friend Entertainment commercial was too long. You are so freaking right. We are doing a new commercial. It's going to be live, and trust me, it's going to be much shorter. And that's just because you had asked us to go and do it, Jeff. So you're the reason I'm going to make
exactly.
Make it
and which now causes me to do another commercial, Jeff, because he can't have a better commercial than me.
So in the next couple of
weeks, we're going to do that. And John, I did button my shirt. All right, so I know you got offended by me having an extra button open and everything. He got offended. But that's he's very conservative.
I think you love
No, his oldest son went to college today, so he's been crying all day. So yeah, his son went to college half an hour from his house. So it's like, come on.
Let's go back to Katie.
All right, Katie, I'm sorry. So
you know
her. I know Katie. We know each other for a long time. Very long time. Right? And as you know, people who watch the show regularly, I'm part of the Civil Air Patrol. And the Civil Air Patrol every year lends support to your walk, right?
Unbelievable sport.
Okay, so we actually go out on, the walk is on Sundays, it's in October. We go out on Saturday when they're setting up and stuff. We set up, we actually camp out at Jones Beach.
Yes.
And get up very early, make sure all the lights are on and everything like this for you guys. And we monitor the boardwalk as people are walking in case somebody needs help. And
yeah, our
and
relationship is so critical.
Yeah.
I feel
Let's
like
not go there.
But it is.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to inflate anybody's ego, but it's so much. We have 65,000 people who come to that event, and
it's a crazy event.
A lot of prep, and being able to have people there to make sure everything's safe and set up before
traffic. There are some choke points during the walk that we have people man and to make sure people are not. Because they stop and talk and all those things, but
right in the middle of the entryways.
Yeah. Is there a charge for this?
There's no charge.
No charge?
There's no charge.
Right.
Yes.
But this is what she was talking about before. They literally have an armored car come to take the cash away.
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah. But that's how many people come, and that's how big it's. You got a fantastic staff.
Yeah, we have a fantastic staff. We're lean and mean, and they're just unbelievable. But without the volunteers, the Civil Air Patrol, honestly, we can't get it done. And there's just so many great volunteer groups that help us from. I mean, even now, we just had National Grid come to our office and weld washers to poles, which sounds crazy, but it's so that our signage can go up faster and safer. And I don't know how to weld anything. I can't do that. And it's amazing to see how every single person can bring something of value to the walk and really make it a true representation of our community. It is Long Island strong. through and through, and it makes it so special.
And the thing is, on that day, on the Breast Cancer Walk Day, it's just not happening here on Long Island. It's happening all over the country.
Yeah, so we have something called Stride Super Sunday, where really anywhere, even in this New York metro area, you can go to a Making Strides Against Breast Cancer walk. Typically on October 20th or very close to those days. So if you're looking for a Making Strides walk, you can go to makingstrideswalk.org and put your zip code in and find your walk near you. But we have over 320 across the country,
and
which
you have
is
vendors there,
vendors,
food,
sponsors,
clothing,
yes,
t-shirts.
yeah, and it's like being at the beach for a walk. I feel like it's just such a.
Can you bring your pet?
You cannot bring your pet, but you can bring your stroller and your child. That is something important. I feel like those are the two questions that we get a lot of. Can you bring your pet? Unfortunately, we love our fur babies. I have one, and I hate leaving him home. But but you can bring strollers and those kind of things. So it's really about park rules.
Right. Yeah, because Jones Beach doesn't allow pets.
Yes. So. But I know that in other walks around the country, I know in Albany, so if there's anybody tuning in from Albany, they have a dog tent. So, yeah.
Yeah, if you're tuning in from Albany, say hi to us on
Actually,
on
if you're
Facebook.
Anywhere upstate, then in multiple cities, there's going to be a walk.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to be walks in multiple cities all over the country.
All over the country.
So it's really an amazing thing. And, like we were talking about before, I've had the privilege of participating in this, not only on the ground and helping you guys, but there's been a couple where I've actually been up in the air taking pictures from above and getting that view. And it's just an amazing view when you see 60,000 people along the boardwalk.
It's a sea. It's just like a never-ending snake of people on it. Those pictures are remarkable.
It's about a 5-mile walk, right?
Yes, just a little bit under.
Right.
But it's about 5 miles because it's a smidge less. But yeah, you have 5 miles leisurely. You can't run it, unfortunately, because there's just too many people there.
Too many people.
But
and
there's so much
Jim's putting
fun.
up some pictures on
great.
there, of the walk. That's from the stage. We're actually set up behind the stage. You can't really see us.
Yes.
We're tucked away.
Civil Air Patrol has their own little campsite.
Right. We got our campsite. We got our trailer, our communication trailer,
and it's it's really, really cool. And other organizations like the Nassau County Aries, so the ham radio operators,
and they usually set up right by us,
right next to them, and they help us with security and making sure that our board walk is safe, and also practicing so that when a national emergency is happening, they're prepared. So having having these relationships, we want people to be able to come to our walk and have that purpose.
It's twofold for us. We not only get to help you guys do this, but it also gives us some additional training in working with outside organizations and things like that. We get spread out and we can do the radios and and work with the Aries guys and do that cross stuff. So our people have a lot of fun.
The question.
Your cough button.
Not the cough button.
Your cough button's on.
It's on?
No, your cough button's on.
Okay.
I'm
sorry, I didn't know. I thought I turned it off. You were complimenting me on a question that we skipped over.
Yes.
So tell us about some of the.
Your fantastic question.
I said
super
it was fantastic.
It was fantastic.
I'm adding
we got to give
super
you credit.
Okay, that's good.
Because it was.
But in lieu of the credit, I'd like to know what research has been done and what's happening with some of these cancers.
Yeah, so there, as you said, and just to reiterate what your question was, there's so many different kinds of cancers. Are we getting to a point when we can say there's a cure for a cancer? And you're right, there's a million different types of cancers. I mean, if you say you have breast cancer, there could be triple negative, there's different proteins, there's so many different ways.
So many,
and
those are just categories of cancers.
And we're making so much progress within those of, getting us, we have
a call.
We have a call.
Good evening and welcome to the Business Power Hour with Dimples and the Music Man. Who's calling?
Hello?
Hello? Can't hear you.
Hi. Hi, could you hear me now?
Hi, we hear you now. This sounds like Eileen.
It is.
Hi.
Hi, Eileen. How are you?
Hi. Watching the
Eileen,
show.
say
It's
hello to Katie.
wonderful.
Hold on. Wait, Eileen, can you turn down your computer?
I just did. Yeah, I
Okay,
just
great.
did.
Thank you.
I don't want to interrupt you. I'm listening to the show. But I just had a question. I wonder if I could ask a question.
Well, before you ask the question, let me just tell Katie, this young lady that is on the phone is probably the chief spokesperson in the country about patient advocacy.
That's amazing.
Her name is Eileen Corina, and you two guys should absolutely
she runs
meet.
the Pulse Center for Patient Advocacy, which is a not-for-profit
That's fantastic.
based right here on Long Island.
Eileen, you're doing great work.
Thank you. Well, before I even go into my question, I want to mention to Jim that I just love the opening. Thank you for changing that music. I used to miss half the show because I had to lower it because of that music.
Well,
so
see?
love
I'm telling
great
you.
job with the opening, Darren.
Good job, Jim.
And
on
she's
doing
not bashful. You know, other people are bashful. They wouldn't tell you. But she's not bashful. But thanks,
But
Eileen.
Katie, thank you for the work you're doing, and congratulations on your pregnancy, etc. But I do have a question. We're a patient safety organization, and I've really looked for opportunities to talk to people who were disease-specific groups like yourself. And medical errors, I don't know if your organization is aware, because that might not be what you focus on, but medical errors are the third leading cause of death in the country. 80,000 people die a year from misdiagnosis, et cetera, these numbers. And I'd love to hear if the Cancer Association, the Cancer Society...
Oh,
I lost
you
it.
still there?
Eileen, you
did we
there?
lose you?
Well, to answer her question, yes, you do things.
We do things.
medical errors or misdiagnosis, and we see it quite a bit. Teaching families how to advocate for each other to stay safe.
Well, Eileen, I'm sorry, but you cut out there right as you got to the meat of your question.
Could you just repeat it?
I'm sorry, dear.
Well, we focus, and I'm not on the cell phone, so,
Okay.
but we focus on patient safety, patient advocacy, medical errors being a serious problem in this country, misdiagnosis being a serious problem. What is the Cancer Society doing to prevent medical errors, misdiagnosis, teaching families to advocate for each other? And also, I don't know if you're aware that the World Health Organization just designated September 17th as World Patient Safety Day. We're excited about that because the recognition that patient safety is a serious concern in the world now. And I would just love to hear what your thoughts are on this and what could be done. Well, I have the ideas of what could be done or what might be done through the Cancer Society to keep people safe.
Well, safety is definitely a priority of the American Cancer Society, and most importantly, that people are getting the care that they need. So I'm not sure when it comes to malpractice and things like that, and I think that that's a fantastic question. I'd love to do a little bit more research on it for you, and we can connect after the show.
And she got a fantastic question.
Yeah.
So good job, Eileen. You got a fantastic question.
Go ahead, I'm sorry.
But when it comes to advocacy, we have actually our sister organization, the American Cancer Society Cancer Action Network, that is lobbying currently down in Washington, D.C., where they're talking to lawmakers to make sure that we are the number one funder of cancer research besides the U.S. government, and we want to stay the number one private funder of cancer research. We want the U.S. government to continue cancer funding and to increase cancer research funding, but also to make sure that barriers to care are not an issue in people getting the care that they need, whether that is something about where you live or like your health insurance, whatever it may be. So we're working with different hospitals and healthcare industries to make sure that when you're coming in, you are getting the whole gamut of information that you need. Federally qualified health agencies is a big thing that we're working with right now to make sure that if you come in, you're going to be able to get your colon cancer screening, whether it's a FIT kit or a colonoscopy, get that treatment and see it through. So you're not getting a diagnosis and then not being able to follow up with that patient, but also be able to get them the resources to act on that diagnosis and get the treatment they need despite economic situations, which is important. So I'm pretty sure that our two organizations would work together in a lot of, I think there's probably a lot of similarities in what we're doing. But I would love to talk to you and connect you with our ACS CAN chapter.
Eileen, if it's okay, I'll pass your information on to Katie, and then you guys can hook up.
Yes, absolutely. And the website for the pledge, the patientsafetypledge.org, gives 5 ideas of what patients and their families could do to improve the outcomes of their care for Patient Safety Day. So I'd like to share that with her, and maybe that could be something that we could share, and they could sign on to the pledge.
Yeah, and Eileen,
and we can help.
send us the details of that, and we'll make sure that we mention that going right through the 17th.
And
Okay.
Eileen, just take 10 seconds, tell everybody about your September 15th show.
Oh,
Since
yeah,
Darren
we're doing
doesn't get it
a
right.
comedy for a cause. Patient safety isn't funny, but laughter is the best medicine. September 15th at the Broken Ridge Comedy Club, and you can get that information on our website at Pulse Center for PatientSafety.org.
All right, thank
Thanks
you.
for that opportunity.
Good night, sweetie.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you, Eileen.
Thank you for calling in.
Thank you. You take care.
All right,
Bye-bye.
have a good night.
So let's go back to that question.
So your question
Yes.
was, what are we doing? So there's a lot of different forms of breast cancer and every different kind of cancer. We're making a lot of headway with different things. Colon cancer, for example, we're finding out that it is the most detectable, treatable cancer that we can find, because if you find it early enough.
Right.
So the guidelines for your colonoscopy are, if you are 45 and over, you should be getting your colonoscopy and talking to your doctor. If you have a history of colon cancer in your family or polyps or something along that line, you should be talking to your doctor and making sure that you're getting those screenings before then, if they say that is the right treatment.
Right.
Being that advocate, but if you can imagine if you can catch something so early and just eliminate a cancer diagnosis altogether.
I
that's
changed
huge.
my insurance, and I had to apply for a new insurance policy. And the nurse comes to your house, takes the blood, whatever it may be, and I get the report and I give it to my doctor, and it was up like 0.1 from the previous rating. So he says to me, I think we should do it again. So we do it again, and it goes up within a month, another 0.1. He says, you have prostate cancer. So you have a choice. You can keep on coming to see me every 6 months, yada, yada, or you can take care of it. So I took care of it.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to deal with it, nothing else, boom, gone.
Yeah, and that's just like early detection. And then there's this thing called the HPV vaccine. That
Yeah.
is, I'm sure you've seen a lot of commercials about it. It's about building the word about it. If you have a child who's between the ages of 12 and 13, it's a great time to consider talking to your doctor about getting them the HPV vaccine, because you can prevent them from getting 6 different types of cancers.
So why is, because there was a big thing about not doing it, right? So why were so many people against it?
Well, I think it's about education. A lot of people are worried about things that they don't know about. There's been a lot of research here. There's been a lot of trials, and there's no bad, side effects that are coming from this vaccine. In fact, our chief cancer control officer just stood in front of 950 American Cancer Society volunteers, sponsors, donors, and said, because of this vaccine, we can see cervical cancer eliminated in our lifetimes.
Really?
Because if we can get these kids and people to
take
get
the
the vaccine, it has nothing to. It's just making that decision earlier on in their life to start them
It's
up
kinda
for
like
healthy.
polio, right? So it's like,
Exactly.
yeah.
We have like
Take the
polio
sugar
isn't
cube.
exactly. You
Remember
don't.
the sugar cube?
Yeah.
When you were a kid, they gave us a sugar cube and had the vaccine
Well,
inside
not
it.
that old.
Oh, I'm old, so.
But that's
We got
exactly
the
it. It's
needles.
just this new wave of
Right.
research that is now able to eliminate 6 different kinds of cancers, and cervical is something that we see in such abundance.
There's also
And-
been such a great a success rate in breast cancer now with
Yes.
the new X-ray machines and such that
the
they're
3D
doing.
mammograms, and those are the things that are really starting to, when I say that when I started in this position 9.5 years ago, I would get a lot of, I've been diagnosed with cancer, this person passed away from cancer, and a lot of times now I'm seeing a lot less of that, and I'm seeing a lot more of, I'm thriving, I'm surviving,
That's
I
great.
caught it early.
I'm a cancer survivor.
Yeah, I'm a
and,
previvor because of
Right.
the BRCA gene testing. So there's so many different things that are out there, and you have to choose what's right for you.
Right.
But knowing that information's there, it's so important to know your family history. I'm an crazy person about it. I have books, and I always am asking questions with my family.
We can see your enthusiasm. I mean, really.
But it's so important to know, like, where do you come from, what's going on, and being able to say, okay, this is something that I know my father was diagnosed with melanoma. That means I'm a fair-skinned person who
You got to be careful.
I have to be careful, and I spray the sunscreen all the time, and I'm okay with it because I know that this is something that I can try and prevent in my life because I know that it's something that I'm prone to.
Now, Long Island is...
Now, before we get into that,
Good.
because we're going over, so...
I'm getting excited, too. I got all these questions.
We got
to
all
ask.
these questions and stuff like that. What we can do is we can just skip the commercial break.
What works for me? I don't
All
care.
right, and we can just keep going.
And Jeff will be happy because it won't be a long commercial.
It won't
again
be
for
long. Yeah,
friends.
we don't have to worry about Jeff.
Jeff, I'm only teasing with you, buddy.
Why don't we just take a 30-second? Let's run the commercial we need to run.
Okay, that's
all right,
fine.
and we just do that. Short message.
Hi, this is Doug Cormack, Executive Director of Orchard Estate of Woodbury, Woodbury's first assisted living and memory care community. We're opening this summer for seniors who need a little or a lot of assistance with things like taking their medication, meals, or just a maintenance-free lifestyle. Our experienced staff keeps seniors and their families connected to what matters most. Call us today to inquire about our model apartments and discover how Orchard Estate of Woodbury is providing the lifestyle Long Island seniors deserve. Call 516-246-2167. That's 516-246-2167, or visit orchardestatewoodbury.com. Licensure pending.
And welcome back to the Business Power Hour with Darren and the Music Man. See how that
Great
worked?
job.
That worked, right? See how
Great
that?
job. There's a reason why I picked you.
So we're back here with Katie from the American Cancer Society, and we're talking about all the things that you can do to either prevent getting cancer. Well, 'cause a lot of us can't prevent that, but
No, you can't
all
prevent
the
it.
steps that you can take very early on to ensure that you get the right treatment
And beat it.
right? And we were on a roll there, and we just kept going and going and going, and unfortunately we had a break. But thank you for being patient with that. But we want to get right back into what we were talking about, and we were talking about all these different cancers, that there are a lot of different things now as even 10 years ago.
Let me just interrupt you. Someone's doing a watch party on our show.
Really?
I didn't catch the name, but they're doing a watch party.
Was it Darren Sayafi?
I don't know.
I was doing that
Tonight?
I got to watch.
Yeah, okay. Well, it just came up now, so it wasn't you.
Right. So it's maybe somebody else. But anyway, hey, we have a lot of friends out there. Getting back to what we were talking about before you interrupted me.
I'll interrupt you again.
Even the research has come so far in the last 10 years, right? And it seems like every block of 10 years, we're solving more and more of these issues, and we're getting better. And you said before that there's a good chance we'll see the elimination of cervical cancer within our lifetime.
Yeah.
If people pay attention, get educated properly, and that's the thing. If you're not sure about something, American Cancer Society is there to help you.
Yeah.
They're there to give you information. They're not there to brainwash you into certain things or do anything like that.
So true. And our cancer.org is just an amazing resource that if you have a question, you can live chat with somebody if you don't want to get on the phone with us, or you can just search through the layers and layers and layers of information.
Now, have you guys found that technology has actually helped you in reaching people and getting people to get involved with your organization?
Well, as I was saying before, when we were talking about the early 1900s, when people were knocking on doors, we haven't changed how we operate. It's just that the door has changed into people's lives. So, instead of ringing doorbells or knocking on those doors, we're coming into your lives through, opportunities like this, which I'm so happy to have been invited to.
There's a question I want to ask about that.
Yes.
And you had beat me to the point. You said the government gives a great amount of money to American Cancer Society. What about the scientific end? Do they have people working scientifically to help cure it?
The government?
Yes.
So the government doesn't give the money to the American Cancer Society. They're the number one funder altogether of cancer research. We're the number two.
Okay, so they do have
Yes.
scientists and such that are working on this.
Yes.
Right, that's what I wanted to know.
And we actually fund cancer research at the very ground level. So finding the idea that maybe somebody doesn't isn't like
So-
it's not further up in it. It's just an idea, and that idea can be something like, oh, I see that with all these women, there's a commonality in the her protein. There's and
So
now
you fund those type of things.
Yeah.
You actually get the things going to the point where the government will come in and go, okay, we'll help fund it now.
Yeah, so we are taught, like when somebody's sitting there and like, I have this idea, and we have a panel with very, very smart people, much more smart than I am, and they're saying this has real promise and it has a potential of going somewhere. We've funded 47 researchers who've gone on to win the Nobel Prize.
Really?
Of which
That's fantastic.
some of them have won in the last 8 years.
Now
And so-
this goes to, and I want to. This goes to how important their organization is, because without them, a lot of these ideas would have never gotten off the ground, and we wouldn't have known about it. And they saved thousands and thousands and of lives because they're making a difference in what they're doing. So you need to go out and support them any way you can. If they want to, say somebody's watching tonight and they want to go donate, where's the best place for them to go donate? Say they're sitting in front of their computer right now, all our friends, and you could just quickly flip over to their webpage and make a donation.
So what's that webpage?
What's
They
that
can contribute $5, $500. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah, so
they
if you
can
want to
give
contribute
something.
to a local event, makingstrideswalk.org/Long Island.
Slow.
Oh, sorry.
So they can
Okay,
get.
so you gotta remember, we got my cousin John from Jersey. It's a little slow, so you gotta go slow.
Well, he's cheap anyway. He ain't
He's
going to
cheap.
do
Oh,
it,
no,
right?
he actually
He's got money?
He donates pretty much every
Oh,
one of our
good. Well, then he's a
charities.
good guy.
So
Good.
makingstrideswalk.org/Long Island. That is our Making Strides Against Breast Cancer campaign here on Long Island. Or if you are looking for just to give a general donation,
Right.
you can reach out to the 1-800 number. We can provide.
Can they
you-
do it online?
They can do it online at cancer.org.
That's the easier way to do
Yeah,
it.
there's a lot of different ways. We don't make it hard for you to
Right,
make a donation. You can hand me a $5 bill while I'm walking past you. But yeah, they really.
Do you have raffles that you give away, at this event, like on Sunday?
So we don't do any raffles.
Because I was going to donate tickets to a show that you could raffle off or sell
So
or
for
whatever.
other things, so we have actually coming up on Thursday of next week our Young Professionals Board. So we know that we have our board of directors, our board of advisors for the American Cancer Society of Long Island, who are amazing. But we now have a chapter of young professionals, so professionals under the age of 40, who are putting on a red, white, and blue end of summer bash at the
Okay.
Crescent Beach Club, and it's supposed to be like this Hamptons beach party in Bayville.
Okay.
So who'd you deal with, Linda?
Yes, Linda Marie Paul.
Yeah,
Yes,
she's sweet, isn't
yeah,
she?
she's wonderful.
Linda, if you're
Unfortunately,
watching, you could be watching
Every
tonight.
conversation you have with him and you mention 8 plays,
He'll know somebody.
Oh, we're doing a show for them, too.
Oh, great.
We're doing in November, we're doing a dinner show there.
So that event is coming up, and we have silent auctions there, which is exciting. And
Do you want tickets for that?
We would love tickets
Cool.
for
So
that.
now I'm going to have you call me, and we're going to work it out.
I like
and
it.
We'll email you some tickets.
Awesome. So that I like all these like really great events that are coming on to serve anybody who's interested. So our Making Strides Against Breast Cancer Walk, that's very much on the pink side of things.
yes.
But we have Relay for Life, these galas. and
Okay, so this is
different
good
things.
because we're getting late. The hour's like disappearing. So we're
it's
going to take the
disappearing.
next few minutes and talk about the events that you have coming up.
Yeah.
Go.
So on September 5th, coming up, we have our Red, White, and Blue End of Summer Bash. We have 2 events in September called Glimmer of Gold, which they're really exciting. It's the first time we're doing them, but it's about pediatric cancer. So really, like, stemming to those families that
Right.
rally around those children who are such strong fighters. We have a Doctors of Distinction golf outing coming up in September. So all of these amazing events in September. Please just reach out to the American Cancer Society. That same phone number that we talked about will get
Which
you
is?
connected. 1-800-227-2345. And then we will have our October kicks off breast cancer awareness season for us, and that means that we have our breast cancer awareness events, and then also our Real Men Wear Pink campaign launches in October, where we have some really great men who've pledged themselves to raise $2,500 and expand their networks. It's not connected to the walk at all, so they have to go and walk in the cold if they don't want to.
Yeah, because that walk last year, the weather wasn't the
Yes,
greatest weather.
that's the
in a
best.
while.
You have to walk rain or shine, and that's really what happens. is that people come out in rain or shine.
They come out rain or
And
shine. And last year we thought
There's
it was going to be a
purpose.
bad turnout.
There's purpose.
Because
And that's
and
it.
that's exactly it. There's purpose there, and you can see that with people walking. You see so many people with "I'm a Survivor" shirt on, and their family
you're
and
walking
friends
for.
just walking with them and surrounding them, and it's a heartwarming thing, you know.
Yeah.
And that's where if you come down, you could probably grab a glimpse of me if I'm outside the trailer.
Yes, just ask for the commander. And then
Well,
we,
last year I was the commander. I don't know
Last
about
year
this
you were commander.
I may hand it off this year. So
and then if you can't make Joan's speech on October 20th, we actually have our East End Making Strides Against
Yes,
Breast
which is
Cancer
the
Walk,
following week.
which is the following week on October 27th at Suffolk County Community College Riverhead campus. Which is about 5,000 people, and it's wonderful. I mean, who doesn't like going out east on a beautiful fall day, and you get to make
Oh,
a
it's
day
not
out
that
of it.
far east.
No, it's not that far out
No.
east, but you can go to the wineries after or apple picking. It's wonderful. So it's really just a great.
You got a lot
great
of stuff
time.
coming on.
We are busy, and that's honestly like the best part of it all is because we get to see different people all the time, and that's just what events we're doing. We have people coming in and out of our office all the time.
Well, let me ask that, because we skipped over in your office. Now, I've been there, and we went into a conference room. We chatted. I didn't get to see what do you offer in that building.
So in our building, we actually have our wig bank. So if you ever are in need of a wig, doesn't matter what your financial status or anything is, you are diagnosed with cancer, you're entitled to a wig from the American
That's
Cancer
huge.
Society.
That's great.
And I actually share the wall with our
Wow.
wig room, which
So-
is so rewarding for me because I get to hear kind of every day as people come in.
like, thank God, and they feel so much better.
Oh, they
about
feel
Yes.
way better.
Yeah.
I had a woman, and she's probably like in her, I'd say 60s or 70s, and she was taking a selfie, which I thought was amazing. And she was taking a selfie with her new wig on in front of the building a few
Nice.
weeks ago, and she's just so elated. And I was talking to her, and her appointment was, an hour and 15 minutes before. She was
Right.
just hanging out and just
That's
so
part
excited.
of the cure.
Yes.
Because you cure from the inside, and that's where you attack this son of a bitch disease. Excuse me for saying it.
Right. But that it's about people, it's about those relationships, about knowing what you can get. And if the American Cancer Society doesn't provide the service, we connect you to the organization in our community that does. So by calling that number, 1-800-227-2345, you're actually able to connect to, like, if you need your house cleaned, we know, like,
So
the
basically,
cleaners.
anybody who's suffering from cancer or is afflicted with cancer can reach out to you and get a lot more than just.
Oh, yeah. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
get transportation, you can get
all of those
housing, you
things.
can get all kinds
So
of things.
guys, this is what you got to do. You got to help these people. You got to support it. If you have questions, or if you have somebody in your family that's just been diagnosed and you don't know what to do, reach out to the American Cancer Society because they're going to help you.
At what number?
1-800-227-2345.
That's the whole idea of what we do. We want people not to forget who you are.
Yes.
And we thank you very, very much
Thank
for
you.
coming here this evening.
so
You've been
much.
a great, great guest.
Oh.
You do have a great position of great responsibility for a great charity. So we thank you very, very much
Yes,
for
Katie,
being here.
thank you for
You're going
being
to have to
on.
come back.
Well, I would love
Yeah.
to come back. I
Cool.
love it here.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
I have new
Thank you.
friends. Or old friends.
right?
Well, maybe now you'll see what we do, so you'll talk to me about...
I know, I know,
Okay, all right,
yes.
that's
There we
it.
go.
So what's going
He's
on with you?
selling again, Jim.
What's doing with you? What are you doing? What's coming up?
I got a couple of big things I'm working on. I'll start making announcements probably next week.
That's what you said last week.
I know, but it's growing. It's growing. It's going to be awesome.
Am I going to
It's
like
gonna
it?
be awesome. You're going to love it. You're gonna
All
love
right,
it.
that's
You're
good.
gonna love it.
You got any other events coming up besides the walk?
No events other than the walk coming up right away. Other than Eileen's comedy show
On the 15th of September,
which of course
Which we will both be there.
I'm not allowed to talk about because I give the wrong information.
Well, that's all. You know, she said it.
No,
She said
actually,
it.
we'll both be there. So you want to come down? You want to see us? Norm will give you his autograph on his.
It'll be my pleasure.
8.5 by 11 glossy. 8 by 10
Do I have
glossy.
one? I should
know.
really get one. I've never had one of
Right,
those.
I don't have one of those. So
Speaking
I'm
of
not gonna
glossy
do this.
and whatever,
Yes, what's going on with you?
I'll make the announcement next week, but I have been asked to host at Ohiga Castle.
So wait a second. You're going to make the announcement next week.
I'm
but
just
you're
going to
telling
tell
us
her
about it now.
I'm just saying that I'm
Jim.
not allowed to say anything till next week.
Jim, wait a second.
So it's September 19th at Oheka Castle, and I will tell everybody about it and how you can get tickets and what the organization is all about.
It's only a few
next
weeks
week.
away.
It's
and you
3
can't
weeks.
talk about it?
It's 3 weeks. Not
You
yet.
get-
We got to dot the I's and cross the T's.
Oh, we got to dot the I's and I get it now.
But it's done.
I know. what's
And then we
going
have
on.
October 5th, we have the show for AmVet Dogs with Journey Chicago and Blood, Sweat, and Tears.
Right.
With all the profits going to the organization. And let's see, we have the 26th, we have an ABBA concert at the Broad Hollow Theater in East Islip. November 2nd, we have Donna Summer coming back to the Argyle Theater. Last year we did it last April to a sellout crowd. That was their grand opening. And we got a bunch more stuff that I'm not going to bore everybody with. But we're going to say good night and thank you to everybody that tunes in and watches us. And we start also officially in 2 weeks on Monday shows.
Yeah, September 9th is going to be our first,
Monday show.
So tune in for that. We want to thank everybody for tuning in tonight. And remember, go and support the American Cancer Society as well as all the other charities that we bring on our show because all of them do important work.
Wonderful
for us.
work.
So we want to thank everybody again for tuning in, and we'll see everybody next week. Have a very safe and happy Labor Day.
Yeah, be
We'll
careful.
See you next week, everybody.
Good night, everyone.
everybody.
Bye-bye.
They're all dead. The lines cut off inside my head. I left here like a broken man with no idea of where I stand. Oh, my mind clear. Oh, I shed all my tears. Oh, now baby, I was just waiting here while you moved on. Security, this newfound freedom you kept from me. The sound of all your loaded gun. This heartbreak war has just begun. The sound of all your loaded gun. This broken man has already won. Oh, my mind clear. Oh, I shed all my tears. Oh, now baby, I was just waiting.